What's up, you guys? This is Alan again, back for another video. And today I want to talk to you about my experience so far making videos on YouTube. So this is my fourth week working on YouTube videos. You might notice that there's only 3 weeks worth of videos, but it's because the first video I was working on my notes and waiting for some equipment to arrive. A lot of people have asked me, why do you want your own YouTube channel? Well, one of the main reasons is I've always wanted to make a podcast. I'm a big fan of podcasts. I watch Joe Rogan all the time, and I always wanted something like that to express my own interest or invite people over that I want to talk to. I noticed that a lot of celebrities, comedians, singers, actors, they started their own podcasts as well. And I think that these kind of discussions show you a different side of them, not just the person that they interview, but also themselves. And I think that it's also a new way of expressing oneself. So with a lot of these celebrities and whatnot joining in on the podcast game, one thing I noticed is the lack of bartenders. Yeah, there's a few that are doing the how-to videos, but we don't have anything where the bartenders talk about what they want. Bartenders are so used to listening to other people. I don't think a lot of people really listen to bartenders. So I've been bartending for about 10 years. I was always thinking about, okay, what direction am I gonna go with this? I could keep on bartending and end up, like one of those 60-year-old bartenders who are just grumpy about these younger bartenders that are like doing this and that. I don't want to be like that. I want to either become a bar owner, bar manager, or something, or maybe even like a celebrity bartender or something like that. But I don't think that being a bartender, making drinks all the time, I don't think that's enough for a long-term career goal. With technology, I've always wanted to do a podcast. Like I said earlier, it's another way of expressing myself without actually having to do the physical part of it, which, you know what, I'm getting older. There's no way I can catch up with people. Like these joints, they're not gonna shake drinks forever. So during this quarantine, I made a point to myself, I don't wanna do anything bartending. Like I follow a lot of powerlifters and bodybuilders. Yeah, one that I can remember off the top of my head is Larry Wheels. He's like a world record holder in some lifts, and he's also a bodybuilder. And on one of his videos, he said that he's been taking weeks off, which I'm surprised, because you would think that he doesn't want to lose any of his strength, but he wanted to, try something else, just take a break, look at what else is going on in life. And for someone on top of his game to take a break without question like that, it made me think about something too. Like maybe I should take a break from bartending. Maybe this lockdown is what I needed to learn something new, a new skill. So far, the first few weeks of the lockdown, I have not talked about bartending at all. So yeah, I did have Zoom happy hour meetings with some of my old coworkers, but nothing bartending related, like no debates on piscos or tequilas or amaros. It was just like talking about the good old times. That's about it. So other than just reminiscing of the good old days, I decided to use this time to learn new skills, things that I've always wanted to do, but I didn't have time. I have a piano, well, a MIDI keyboard. I dusted that off and I'm like, you know what? I need to get back on this. I did a few lessons, but I have so much free time now. I need to learn piano. Like otherwise I'm just wasting my time. Like why did I buy this? And also use the time to go on Duolingo, the language app, to brush up on my Spanish, because last year I went to Mexico for the Fortaleza distillery, and that was such a blast, but I want to go back again knowing the language. So about 4 to 5 weeks ago, I was in a Zoom happy hour with some of my bartending colleagues. We're drinking and getting a little tipsy, and we're just like throwing ideas. Okay, how are we gonna reopen? What other options? Are we even gonna reopen back to normal anytime this year? And I started talking about the podcast idea, and one of the bartenders there, he was telling me like, you know what? You should get this camera. Like this is a good startup camera. Like I've recorded stuff, but I was more of like I followed someone's instructions. So he said, press here, hold this camera this way, but I didn't know anything about cameras. So I was fortunate that one of the bartenders at this Zoom meeting told me, okay, get this mic, get this camera, get this software, and this is enough to get you started. So I started writing notes on what types of topics I want to talk about. And the main topic that I knew that I didn't want to talk about. You remember, I had not thought about cocktails up until this time. So I was like, I don't want to do another how-to video, because everyone makes a how-to video. Every single bartender makes a how-to video. Like nobody else talks about anything else. Nobody talks about the POS. Nobody talks about shakers. Like a shaker, we bartenders geek out about this stuff. How come nobody is reviewing bartending tools on YouTube? So it's not just bartenders that I was thinking about having it as part of my YouTube channel, but also the hospitality industry. It's becoming more and more integrated. I remember working a long time ago, it was back of the house versus front of the house. You know, the kitchen had their lemons and we had our lemons. You never use the kitchen's lemons and the kitchen never used our lemons. But nowadays we share a lot of knowledge. Like we have like a kitchen staff who wants to know more about the Negroni. They're kind of geeking out on the Amaros. We have chefs who don't even drink, but they want to know what wines would match with their food. And they need like a sommelier or a bartender to help them out with that. That's one of the interesting things I noticed is that front of house and back of house have become more integrated and become more of a team. So the video is about what did I learn so far on my 4 weeks of YouTube. Well, as I mentioned earlier, the equipment, like I didn't realize that there's this whole culture on what kind of attachments you can put on lens, what kind of lights. Like right now I'm using a ring light plus 2 softbox lighting, and I've had people like, no, you don't want to use ring lights. And on the other hand, I've heard, oh, you do want to use ring lights. And I've even heard like, oh, you want to use ring lights, but on the side as a, was it a key light or what's the other one? Also, I learned about the legal parts of YouTube. I just spent 3 days working on my second episode of Bartenders Watch Bar Rescue, and this one is a whole episode, unlike the first one I did, which is just a clip. So I submitted that on YouTube. Remember, I spent 3 days on this. I'm like, man, I'm so proud of this. And then I get an alert that says that, oh, you've been flagged for a copyright. I'm like, what? Like, I've seen these reaction videos all the time. Like, how did I get caught with this? And it says, oh, this time frame has a copyright thing. So I shortened it, and then it says, oh. So I re-uploaded it, and then it says, this other part. I was like, what? I've seen like these Let's Watch or these reviews, like CinemaSin's channel that I see all the time. This guy reviews entire movies and he doesn't even get flagged. Like, how does... So then I looked it up and it turns out to be a normal thing. It's all automated. It will take a while. It looks like a lot of these commentary, Let's Watch, these reaction videos, they are going to take a while because a lot of legal stuff that I have to deal with. So my second video that I released, which is the one that I react to an entire episode. So who knows when that's going to come out. I think YouTube told me that it takes about 28 days to review. And if they can't come up with anything that will dispute fair use, then it should be good to go. But yeah, I don't know how that's going to end up. But until then, that's not what my channel is all about. That's just one of the topics. I just wanted it to be fun. So I finally got a podcast system set up. This one will work well because it works with online broadcasting as well. So the people I interview, they don't have to be in the same room. So it could be off of like a Skype or a Zoom, and I could integrate it. Like I figured out all the cameras, like how to change the camera angles and depending on who's speaking, and how to pull up video clips if it supplements and screen captures. Like, so yeah, I've been doing computers like my whole life, and I'm learning so much stuff right now, which I'm glad, because if I ever compete again, now I have all this video editing skills, so I don't have to record a video with a potato phone camera. So anyways, that's my video. I hope everyone's being safe. We are supposed to transition into reopening soon, and I hope that nobody's rushing it. I think that we all want to go back to work, but we need to do it in a safe and timely manner. Yeah, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.